this is Critstar, and I am looking at two legendary synthesizers from the 80s, the DX7 on the bottom from Yamaha and the Casio CZ. Well, in this case, it would be Arturia's renditions of them, but they both stand for kind of the synthesizer war that went on in the 80s between Casio and Yamaha, and when I say war, I'm thinking pretty business war, more or less. These two synthesizers fought on a synthesizer battleground for supremacy of people buying and using their stuff. I think history will say that the DX7 probably won. It was used by a lot of bands, but nobody had a clue how to program it or what it's used for. At least a lot of people use their presets. Let's be honest. Partly because of what this means down here with these algorithms and how they're programmed. This is, of course, a phase modulation synthesizer. So if we go over here, and of course I need to bring it up a bit on both of these. And then the DX7 is a frequency modulation, or FM. So you got the bottom FM, the top one PM. Both kind of take the waves and modulate them separately. Modulate, that's a really cool keyword. So for those that don't know, modulation just means something as simple as having something moving something else. So what's being modulated? In this case, it's the frequency that's being modulated. In this case, it's the pulse that's being modulated, as I understand. So I got something over here in the polygrid. In today's video, we're gonna kind of play around with both some sort of primitive frequency modulation and primitive pulse modulation within polygrid. And this doesn't have to be in polygrid. You could bring it out into any of the other Bitwig things that allow you to modulate anything that has a basically like the pitch or frequency that we're using, or the phase. So we're gonna do something really easy, and we're going to use an LFO for really slow modulation. Now, what's cool about the LFO is the LFO, the difference between this and an oscillator is how fast it's going. So frequency modulation is usually something that's very fast on a frequency. We're going to use LFO. It's very slow, and I don't think it quite counts, but it'll get the point across. So what we want to do is we kind of want to mess with the pitch. And we're kind of doing the same thing, really like I say, primitively. So if we pop up the spectrum analyzer here, you can see that it's going back and forth. It's modulating back and forth the frequency. Now it could be a very simplistic view of this. Don't take it with a grain of salt of everything that I'm speaking as true knowledge. But in my opinion, if it's frequency modulation, you're modulating the frequency. We're doing this. As opposed to phase modulation, where phase modulation would be where we take the oscilloscope and it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, right? But instead of modulating the pitch or frequency, you're actually modulating the phase, which is here. So we could take something like this value and then modulate. It's already... But overall, what they actually mean by this, instead of doing it at oh, hey, look at that. We can bump this up. And it's supposed to actually be the same. I think it's supposed to see the same frequency or phase as the actual oscillators, which is basically in the like the 440 range or whatnot. of, yeah, right around here, the 400 to 440 range instead of the 20 hertz. But there's like a limit on the oscillators, released for the classic one. Let's see what the like a normal LFO would do. Yeah, that one's only 50 hertz. There are other ways of doing this. Of course, you have the Poly 4 or Phase 4. My fault. The Phase 4 from Bitwig. That one also does phase modulation. And in fact, you can modulate the other things in here to do the phase stuff, and then you also use the modulators. So you're doing modulation over modulation, and then you can get that nice organ sound. Let's add a modulator so I can mess around. Get that nice buzz. I always like messing with amplitudes for the thing. There's also amplitude modulation, which is kind of cool. Kind of like that. That's kind of cool. So the principle of this is kind of to introduce kind of phase frequency modulation at my understanding, which is sort of kind of rudimentary as shown, and how we could simply do it within Bitwig. I know you can use the modifier. I need to learn probably this one a heck of a lot more to be. Oh yeah, that's right. You modulate them through here. I love phase distortion or phase modulation. Such a cool sound. So what you could do to get away with something, let's do a simple kick. Quite simple kick. And then let's do our phase 4. Let's do something in the C2, but let's make it a triplicate. There you go. Let's do something in the samples. Let's look for... that got crazy. Any rate, let's mess with the Phase 4 a bit more, because I kind of want to do a little bit more modulation in there. Let's do some crazy curve stuff. So much fun. Anyway, I think I had it. By the way, if you're still here and you're still listening and I've not driven you off, I'm replacing my hard drive on my laptop. So hopefully, if it goes well, I'll see it. We'll have a new video with expanded hard drive size. I'm doubling it finally after 2 years of owning the laptop. Great laptop. I love it. And now it's time to upgrade it. It's been a couple of years, so I'll be able to do even more stuff on it after a while, or have an endless storage of plugins, so I can go back to buying plugins. So, anyway, yeah. So, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I will catch you later.